say patience is a virtue, but for some things, we can't wait.
Go to southernroofingaugusta.com for all of your roofing needs.
From my family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12, first at 4.
Less than a week before Christmas, and the Red Cross is helping a local family after this devastating fire in Augusta. 11 people called this place home, 8 of them children under the age of 15. But first of all, if you have any pets outside, you're going to want to bring them inside. It's about to hit the coldest night of the week. You can see the numbers right there on the screen. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton to find out how low it will go overnight tonight.
It's going to be a cold one, definitely, Richard. Might want to have to turn on your heat, and I'm saying that, and I'm kind of telling myself that at the same time.
I can't believe you put it off this long.
I know. Well, tonight might be the night. So winter officially starts on Thursday. Probably going to turn on the heat just right before then. But this afternoon, not too bad. Sitting at 48. Wind chill, though, 44. And things are dry, sunny, not having any concerns on the radar whatsoever. Things are going to remain dry and mostly sunny for the next day or so. But I want to point out dew points, very low. Honestly, I have not seen dew points on this map here this low before. So definitely chapstick weather. You're going to need, you're going to have a lot of static in your hair. Very dry out there. Definitely take those precautions. If you have humidifiers, those are always good as well, because it is very dry. So wanted to point out those dew points, and along with that, cooler temperatures for us, and lower dew points, higher wind speeds, colder temperatures definitely makes it feel pretty brutal out there. So tomorrow morning could be in those lower 20s. Some spots might see the upper teens. I'm holding on to the lower 20s though on average, but we'll warm up in the afternoon to right around 50, so not looking too bad there. But another cold start to our Thursday morning, Richard, so we just got to keep those winter jackets on and keep it with us.
Yeah, we're in it for a while, Emily. Thanks a lot. We caught a glimpse just a moment ago. We're going to go back live to our camera at the state line, where these crews are actually wrapping up some work over on the South Carolina side. This is the eastbound traffic going away from the camera, down to one lane for most of the day, and that's still the situation right now. You can see it is slow moving right across the Augusta Canal and the Savannah River bridges. GDOT says the right lane on I-20 eastbound was closed all the way to mile marker 1 in South Carolina. Still is. Those paving crews are laying down asphalt in the area. We'll let you know when that situation changes. But if you can avoid eastbound I-20, you might want to take a different way around some slow-moving traffic there. It's backed up beyond Washington Road at the moment. A suspect arrested in connection to a deadly shooting of a 22-year-old in Swainsboro. This happened yesterday. 18-year-old Tydreek A. Carlton of Swainsboro taken into custody. Officers were called to that shooting yesterday afternoon, where 2 people were injured on North Racetrack Street there. They were both taken to a hospital for treatment. Aaron Pierce of Dublin died after being shot. No word on how serious the other victims' injuries are, but Carlton is currently in behind bars right now in Swainsboro. We have an update to a story we first told you about last night. This is what's left after a huge fire broke out at this home on Apricot Lane off Papaya Street in Augusta. This is an area right across the street from Augusta National. This blaze caused the family to lose their home right here before Christmas. 8 children, all 15 years and under, their parents, a grandparent, all living here. The Red Cross has stepped in to provide comfort kits and other needs the victims may have. The family tells us this was an electrical fire, but our hearts go out to them, especially this time of year. The nation saying a final farewell to Sandra Day O'Connor today, the first female justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. Skylar Henry takes us to the funeral at Washington National Cathedral.
The justices of the Supreme Court joined President Biden and the family of Sandra Day O'Connor inside Washington National Cathedral to say a final goodbye to the first woman to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court.
Gracious and wise, civil and principled,
President Joe Biden praised her as a pioneer who broke down barriers
and proved that a woman can not only do anything a man can do, but many times do it a heck of a lot better.
Nominated by President Ronald Reagan in 1981, the moderate conservative from Arizona served more than 2 decades, 12 of them as the only woman, before retiring in 2006.
She was a force of nature. She willed things into action. People had a very hard time saying no to her.
Chief Justice John Roberts recalled her reaction when he was nominated to take her seat, expressing mild disappointment that her replacement was not another woman.
She had nice things to say, but ended by noting that the only problem was I didn't wear a skirt. My initial reaction was, of course, everything's negotiable.
Her biographer shared how happy she was to see 4 women currently serving on the High Court. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Her biographer also noting that O'Connor was the deciding vote in more than 330 cases, including 2 upholding and affirming Roe v. Wade, but she did not like being called a swing vote. She said the term sounded fickle. Well, as the fighting between Israel and Hamas, troopers still need your help finding a car involved in a hit and run that left a pedestrian injured in Aiken County. This happened Friday night around 10:15 when a car hit a pedestrian on Cherokee Drive. Troopers believe the car may be gray or silver, a Kia sedan with the passenger side mirror missing. If you spot it, call the South Carolina Highway Patrol. The number is 803-898-3243. Up next, a rare sight. We go to Iceland, lighting up the night sky there, what this means for the area, and what tourists have to say about witnessing this firsthand. Emily.
Well, we will be well below freezing overnight tonight and not a big warm-up for our afternoon tomorrow. I'll have a check on your 7-day coming up.
Time.
I mean, it looks so beautiful. I hate that people are being impacted by this, but it's a very nice view, and I'm sure it looks great in person as well. Never been to Iceland, but I've heard that they've got some cool sights there, but won't have to go too far if you're looking for some cooler temperatures. I know Iceland, that kind of gets its name a little bit confused. I know Greenland's the cold one. Iceland's not as cold, but it's going to be cold here nonetheless overnight tonight. But currently we're sitting in the 40s, upper 40s, and that's where we hit our peak this afternoon. So relatively warm, plenty of sun there, but different story once we get into the early morning hours tomorrow, and that's going to last really over the next couple of days. We're going to have a hard freeze overnight tonight and tomorrow, and that's just when the temperatures are below 26 degrees Fahrenheit for several hours at a time. So that's why we have that hard freeze again expected tonight, tomorrow. Into Friday, might just be a light freeze out there, but nonetheless, cold temperatures overnight for us. Not expecting any rainfall in the near future, but looking like we could see some rain once we get later on into the weekend and really into the day, Christmas Day on Monday. But good news is holding off for Christmas Eve. Santa's going to have great weather to fly in, but again, those showers are going to be moving in throughout the day Monday, unfortunately, but it's still a little while away. Maybe the timing could be a little different, but we kind of have a better idea of these showers moving through. Confidence is growing that we will see some rain, unfortunately, on Christmas. Richard?
That is some bad timing. Hope we can adjust that one, Emily. Thank you. A house explodes early this morning. This is South Florida, reducing the place to rubble. In a news conference later today, the West Park chief said 4 people believed to be living in the house, including 2 children and 2 adults, were taken to nearby hospitals with injuries ranging from serious to life-threatening. And look at what's left there. The exact source of the explosion still not really clear.
Yeah, I did. Around like midnight or 1 in the morning, there was like a big boom, but we just heard the door close in the room, so we didn't think it was like anything. We just thought it was the wind.
No, not the wind at all. The investigation is ongoing, but fire crews believe some sort of gas leak created that explosion. The fire marshal was also on the scene today looking for some clues in a massive explosion there in an area about north of Miami, South Florida. Americans from coast to coast are gearing up for what could be a record-setting year-end holiday travel season. AAA predicting more than 115 million people traveling 50 miles or more, and an all-time record of 7.5 million are going to fly. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says his agency is working to make sure those flights stay on schedule, but the weather could affect those plans.
We may see some bad weather impacting travel around Christmas and New Year's. FAA is working closely with airlines to plan for that possibility. So if you are concerned about weather affecting your travel plans, please remember to check directly with your airline for the most up-to-date information about your flight.
And as always, pack your patience. Secretary Buttigieg also announcing so far 2023 has seen the lowest flight cancellation rates in the last 5 years. We're going to take a closer look at travel preps closer to home here coming up live at 5. The most wonderful time of the year can also be stressful for travelers. As Colette Borden reports, when passengers get on the plane in Denver, they step right into the holiday spirit.
Hurry up and wait.
Probably 15 minutes at this point.
It's what you do at the airport for the people
Yeah, she's landed.
you love to embarrass.
It says, "Thanks, Mom, for skipping parole. I missed you."
Amy Linares likes to laugh
I promise she's not on parole. Like, she's just for giggles.
and likes to make other people laugh, even after a long day of travel.
If you look at most people when they walk out of here, they're super stressed, so a little giggle goes a long way.
And while they wait, there's music we all know by heart.
It's just a nice little surprise. You come up from the train and here's a piano.
Jimmy West is one of the piano players, welcoming everyone home for Christmas.
It's almost a theme song here.
A soundtrack to the arrivals
Seeing people just kind of melt.
that feel a bit more like magic.
I tell the kids that it's very important what we do here playing music, because if we don't play, the planes don't fly. I don't know if they believe me.
Because when you hear the music
She's like, "Why do you think you're so funny?" And I was like, "I learned it from the best."
and see the excitement,
Mom!
it's hard not to believe in the holiday spirit.
It's the worst.
Even if your daughter embarrasses you,
Oh, I love her. I still love her.
and you may make different plans next year.
I won't tell her when I arrive.
Coming home for Christmas doesn't only have to be in your dreams.
A nice touch there. You know, for years, Augusta Regional has been offering Christmas music to travelers coming and going. Emily, it's a nice touch when you hear that. Coming or going, either way.
Oh, I love the Christmas spirit there, and especially in airports, not the most Christmassy place. But temperatures are going to drop off overnight tonight. Might feel a little bit more like Christmas, but I'll have a look at your 7-day coming up soon.
I'm Mike Costello of the
Models, or get a total of 6,000 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Well, temperatures have peaked in the upper 40s this afternoon, but that's going to be the coldest afternoon for the next 7 days. Tomorrow will warm up into those lower 50s, but with that being said, a lot colder start to the morning. We'll see those lower 20s. Some spots could possibly see the upper teens to start off the day tomorrow, so definitely a winter coat day for you, and then you're going to need to keep it around. Thursday and Friday morning will be below freezing, but good news is partly sunny skies for the afternoon, so should help us feel a little bit better there. But again, cold temperatures, that's really the main story going on. But what we can see come Monday, really Sunday night, Santa's forecast for you. I'm in the Christmas spirit. I'm wearing the red dress. I'm talking about Christmas all day today, but it's going to be only in the 40s for the overnight Sunday into Monday morning, so not too bad there, but the bad news comes into play whenever we get a little bit later in the afternoon. That's when some rain chances are coming into play for Monday, and they could stick around throughout the day Tuesday, Richard.
You know what they say about Christmas rain? If it's going to rain on Christmas Day, it might as well snow, Emily. So might as well drop that temperature on down. We'll talk more later. A 97-year-old man gets a chance to meet face-to-face with the police officers who risked their lives to save him from a burning home. Just before 3:30 on Thanksgiving morning, police got a call about a fire at a home in Hatboro, Pennsylvania. They broke in through the back door. They ran in the burning house. They rescued Joe Keegan from his second-floor bedroom. Keegan says he would not be here today without the heroic actions of two men he calls warriors.
Gave up their own lives to save an old man. One grabbed my ankles, the other grabbed my wrist. They drove me down the steps. The sweetest ride I ever had.
Not a bad ride downstairs. Keegan's family says they can't thank the officers enough. Mr. Keegan says he prays for both those officers every day. He'll continue doing so, he says, until the day he dies. It's a lot of gratitude.
Grant me hope. Finding every foster child their forever home.
And it's time to meet a 10-year-old looking for a place to call home. He enjoys video games, math, and recess. He says he hopes to find a loving family who will give him encouragement and structure and love. Meet Isaiah.
My name's Isaiah and I'm 10 years old. My favorite movie is Wizard of Oz. I just like fantasy. My favorite artist is Wrdw. My favorite food is okra. It's buzzing. I love Roblox and Fortnite, of course. Minecraft, it's endless with no ads. Build whatever you want. Basically like Slither all over again, except for no snakes. You could just build. My favorite subject in school is reading. I get straight A's. Do math, do homework in general. Mostly I just do it at school, leave it at my desk, and do it in the morning. I love going outside and playing. I would love to live in a house in the woods. Normally I'll just start off climbing some trees and then I'll find some rope somewhere and then jump build a tree house somewhere. When I grow up, I want to be in the military. I just like fighting for what I believe in. I'd love to have a brother and sister because I don't always want to be bored and play by myself. If I could just have my little room that says Isaiah on the outside, I would love that. I just have my own little room. I could do whatever I wanted there. I just do me. My name is Isaiah, and I'm looking for a forever.
Grant me hope, because every child deserves a loving home.
Such a smart young man. If you'd like to give Isaiah a forever home, if you'd like to know more about past foster kids we feature, head to our website, wrdw.com, and then search Grant Me Hope. Here's something you should keep in mind this holiday shopping season. Counterfeit goods are flooding the marketplace, and they're getting harder to spot. Most shoppers might not even realize they got duped. NYPD seizing more than $1 billion worth of counterfeit luxury goods last month. It is the largest bust of its kind in U.S. history. Counterfeiting is the largest illicit trade in the world right now, and here in the U.S. we're estimated to buy about $2 trillion worth of counterfeit products every year.
This is what we think of traditionally when you're trying to find knockoffs and counterfeit items being sold on the streets, but this has largely moved online.
Right.
And online it's even harder to tell. Customs officers seized nearly $3 billion worth of fake products at U.S. ports last year. But investigators warn seizures only represent what they can find. A lot more makes it through. It's just a small dent in a $2 trillion market. So buyer beware.
Overnight tonight, we'll drop off into those 20s and we'll warm up for the afternoon, but we'll see the 20s again before the week is said and done. I'll have one more look at your 7-day coming up.
And talk about a great memory. Up next, we're going to tell you how these apes managed to remember friends they haven't seen in decades.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group. Imagine you're
Yeah, definitely interesting. I'm not a big fan of those animals because I hear that they attack people, but but maybe they could be nice. I also see them give hugs to people at the same time.
That's
so
right.
I guess it just depends on who they are. Anyways, looking at current temperatures right now, we've reached those upper 40s for the afternoon high temperatures. So we're going to cool off significantly overnight tonight. But another thing I want to point out is it's really dry out there as well. Dew points are in the teens, low 20s, maybe in some spots. So it is very dry, definitely chapstick weather. It's not really helping us feel any warmer either. And overnight tonight, we'll see the 20s, Richard. So it's going to be a cold start to our Wednesday.
And as we leave you, I just want to remind you, I-20 is still slow going there. We're going to explain why they've had a backup all day long when First at 4 continues after the break.
Your home.
Interesting research there, Emily.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I'm not a big fan of those animals because I hear that they attack people, but but maybe they could be nice. I also see them give hugs to people at the same time.
That's
so
right.
I guess it just depends on who they are. Anyways, looking at current temperatures right now, we've reached those upper 40s for the afternoon high temperatures. So we're going to cool off significantly overnight tonight. But another thing I want to point out is it's really dry out there as well. Dew points are in the teens, low 20s, maybe in some spots. So it is very dry, definitely chapstick weather. It's not really helping us feel any warmer either. And overnight tonight, we'll see the 20s, Richard. So it's going to be a cold start to our Wednesday.
And as we leave you, I just want to remind you, I-20 is still slow going there. We're going to explain why they've had a backup all day long when First at 4 continues after the break.
Is your home out? I don't know.
Because he didn't call my dad.
You're watching News 12, First at 4, continues.
And First at 4 continues with our live look from the Thurman Dam, looking downstream at the Savannah River right there. A windy day, a cold day, especially raw right there on the water. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton with a look at how cold it's going to be overnight tonight. And Emily, we're talking sub-freezing, a hard freeze.
Oh, definitely going to be cold tonight. I'm looking at the birds right now on the camera. They should get out of there because it's going to be cold overnight tonight. Don't they? They always fly for the winter months. But anyways, they're still here. Some traffic going on right now, but we'll talk about that in just a second. I want to talk about temperatures sitting at 48. Feels like 44 though. Those dew points in the teens, so cannot stress enough. Very dry air, lotion, chapstick, your best friend for the next couple of days. But things are dry. Like I said, low dew points. Not expecting any rainfall for us, and that trend's going to continue over the next couple of days. So cold start to our Wednesday morning. I'm talking well below freezing, and those cooler. Dew points, lower dew points, making it feel even colder there. But same story for our Thursday. So, Richard, you're going to have to keep that winter coat.
Don't you worry about that. We're going to do it. Okay, to help people in Richmond County brave the cold, Augusta Transit offering free rides to local overnight shelters. Those include Augusta Rescue Mission, Garden City Rescue Mission, and the Salvation Army Center of Hope. The shelters do require proof of a shelter clearance from the Sheriff's Office. You can go to the Richmond County Sheriff's Office before 5 p.m. any day of the week to get that documentation from the Records Department. If you can't get there before 5, we have a number on the screen for you to call. A deputy can help provide clearance for you in that kind of situation. Okay, one more look live here at the state line. Crews have just wrapped up a lot of work happening on the South Carolina side today. Eastbound traffic was down to 1 lane for most of the day. They've just released it back to 2 lanes now, but it is still slow moving through the construction zone. GDOT says the right lane on I-20 eastbound had to be shut down all the way from mile marker 1 in South Carolina back to Riverwatch Parkway. Paving crews were laying asphalt in the area, but again, it's 2 lanes again, but slow going because of this rush hour going across the Savannah River at the state line, eastbound especially slow right now. The Pentagon says line. Google is agreeing to pay $700 million to settle an antitrust lawsuit. The Justice Department and dozens of states accuse the company of abusing its dominance in an online search. They say Google allegedly hurt competition through deals with wireless carriers and smartphone makers to make Google search their default or the exclusive option. The settlement, about $630 million, will go to a fund to benefit about 102 million consumers. Another $70 million will go to the states involved in the lawsuit. The VA Augusta healthcare system is still searching for nurses who specialize in back injuries and long-term care. It's holding another drive-through drop-off for resumes. All applicants have to do is bring their qualifications to the Uptown campus on Freedom Way. That's tomorrow between 11:30 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. Then again from 3:30 until 5 p.m. Most people remember hearing our mom's unique voice when you get in trouble. Up next, how an angry mom managed to use that voice to protect one of her own.
And low temperatures overnight tonight. We're talking upper teens, low 20s. So cold start to our Wednesday, but I'll have a look at your 7-day coming up.
To turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. That's up to $1,700 in value, only on Verizon.
Well, overnight, the next few nights, we will be under a hard freeze, and that's when temperatures are below 26 for several hours overnight. And again, that's going to start tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, looking a little bit warmer for us, so maybe not quite the hard freeze, but definitely want to give yourself a couple extra minutes to warm up your car in the morning, because it's definitely going to be a cold start to our day. But conditions are clear, expecting them to stay clear In terms of rainfall for the next couple of days, cloud cover is going to start to slowly move in over the next day or so, becoming partly cloudy throughout our weekend and into the start of next week. But that's when the rain chances start coming into play. I know there's a little bit of rain popping up early Saturday, but I'm not really expecting that to verify. But this is looking a lot more promising. Lots of rainfall for our Monday for us. So, unfortunately, on Christmas, could see a decent amount of rainfall. And again, the models have been predicting this for the past couple of days. It's really starting to kind of solidify the forecast for us. So, unfortunately, looking like some rain come Monday and could last into the day Tuesday. But good news is, once we get into Friday, temperatures will get around normal again, which will be those lower 60s. Overnight lows, not terrible. We'll be in those upper 30s and 40s for the rest of the week.
Thanks, Emily. We know moms will do almost anything to protect their family. When a woman from Anchorage, Alaska saw her beloved Yorkie come face to face with a young moose, she did what comes naturally. Dave Elgood spoke with a mom about what happened.
I'd like you to meet a fun couple.
Hi, I'm Kathy. This is Pixel, and this is my husband,
Everett. And if there was any doubt they love their dog son, Pixel, check out his holiday pics. Can we all just say this Yorkie is too cute? Why the name Pixel? Catherine is a nature photographer. Check out her pics of pikas. Not bad, huh?
Either I'm real quiet or I'm real noisy, depending on the animal.
Sometimes you gotta let those animals know you're there. So Catherine has a mom voice.
Just to get the emotions and feel that, get into character. No!
Look at Everett. That's a husband voice, too. But more important, it's a voice that saved her beloved Pixel.
But then I hear him barking. Like, really serious barking.
5-pound Pixel had discovered a heavyweight moose on the porch.
Pixel's on the deck. He's barking at this moose.
So Catherine dropped her groceries and ran through the house, and this happened.
No! And the moose took off after Pixel. So that's when I started yelling at the moose to, hey, hey, hey.
Catherine conjured up the mom voice for the moose.
And that's when I got the mom voice, the husband voice, the retired law enforcement voice, full artillery, lethal weapon here. No, my biggest thing was get the dog away from the moose. Next thing I know, the moose stops, the dog's gone, and all's well. That worked. I used my mom voice.
We all know that mom voice. The moose, it did make a move.
He did take a forward swipe at Pixel, but Pixel was already moved off.
But Pixel cleared the scene and was safely off. And Catherine?
And I was surprised the moose just stopped, like, whoa.
Everett wasn't surprised the moose stopped.
I can probably look at him and say no better, right? Because I'm used to saying no to him.
Love. It's knowing when to say, whoa.
No! Are you yelling at me or the moose?
Let's not forget the patented mom finger pointing.
They just said that really did it. Yeah.
So Pixel is the picture of a pampered pooch. What did we learn?
You can yell at animals and it can work. I don't know.
Maybe we learned what Mama says Moose does. And that's...
No! My yard, my rules.
The All Good News.
Yeah, that moose made a full stop right there with the mom. The Robins say, by the way, Pixel is doing fine and has recovered from that brief scare in the yard. They're more worried when Pixel goes out around hawks and eagles because that dog is so tiny. Legendary comedian and actor Billy Crystal in the audience this time as the 2023 Kennedy Center honoree. Crystal has been making America laugh for nearly a half century now, from New York's comedy club circuit to the big screen. President Biden calling Crystal the American showman with a heart of gold. CBS Morning's Gayle King spent the day with Crystal, and he actually ate at Kratz Deli, where the iconic scene from When Harry Met Sally was filmed.
What do you think, Billy, about the fact that people come from all over the world just to sit at this table for something that you did? You did that, sir.
It's an amazing phenomenon that this has touched people in this little piece of history here in New York City. The movie was 1989.
And it's still a classic. You can watch the Kennedy Center Honors coming up Wednesday, December 27th, 8 p.m. on CBS. It's also streaming on Paramount Plus. A classic comedian among those being honored this year. If you've recently bought an air fryer, listen up. There's a big recall on a certain brand. What you need to watch out for when First at 4 continues.
Well, very cold temperatures are expected overnight tonight. I'm talking low 20s, upper teens, but warmer afternoons in store for us. I'll have a check on your forecast coming up.
Excellent. Injured? Call me right now. Call 222-HURT right now.
Well, cold start expected for our Wednesday morning, so definitely going to need the winter jacket tomorrow, and might want to keep it with you for Thursday and Friday morning. Going to be pretty cold. Be sure to give yourself a couple extra minutes when you are warming up your car in the morning, because again, low 20s, upper teens in some spots. But we'll warm up by the afternoon. We can expect to see temperatures in the 50s, and then that warming trend will continue. By this weekend, we'll be a little bit above average, actually seeing those lower 60s, partly cloudy skies. Now, we do have some rainfall in the forecast, but I'll get to that in just a second. I want to talk these cold temperatures. We have not seen a 21, which is the forecasted low for tonight, since January 15th. So that will be the coldest if we reach that since January 15th. But here's a couple of other dates that we saw some really cold temperatures this year. Want to get to Christmas, though. Could see a chance of rain. The confidence is starting to grow. Models are agreeing and being pretty consistent, Richard. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to see some rainfall come Monday and Tuesday. But the good news is we're kind of warming up a little bit, so it's going to be a little bit more comfortable this weekend. Maybe if you're have any plans, maybe last-minute shopping, shouldn't be bad weather to get out and about.
Yeah, not quite so cold. Emily, thanks. More than 300,000 air fryers sold at popular retail stores are being recalled. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says Empower Brands is recalling 2 models of the Power XL dual basket air fryer. Here's what they look like. The agency has more than 40 reports of the food baskets actually breaking apart during use, some causing burns. The recalled air fryers were sold at stores including Walmart, Target, Kohl's between August of 21 through October of this year. You can get a full refund by contacting Empower Brands. About 1 in 8 women who've given birth deal with postpartum depression, and now the first pill for women with PPD is available. Tanya Backus explains how it works.
Caitlin Pratt says her mental health worsened after the birth of her son, Kason.
I feel like my anxiety went through the roof. I had absolutely no motivation to do anything. I had a newborn baby who obviously needed me, and all I wanted to do was sleep.
3 months later, she knew she needed more help. She saw an ad for a clinical trial testing a new treatment for postpartum depression and enrolled. Her symptoms improved within days.
Full of energy. I was like bouncing off the walls. I was going to sleep, and I woke up feeling rested.
Usual treatment could be with antidepressants, which take weeks to work. Now the FDA-approved prescription drug called Wrdw is available, the first pill to treat PPD.
There is such a great need for fast-acting antidepressant drugs in all types of depression, but particularly in the very vulnerable period where you have a postpartum mother and baby.
Dr. Samantha Meltzer-Brody with UNC Health ran one of the clinical trials. Research showed the medication, taken for 14 days, improves symptoms at day 15 and as early as 3 days for women with PPD.
For any mother who is feeling sad, blue in a way that is persistent or interfering with functioning, changes in eating or sleeping or feeling hopeless or having any thoughts that life is not worth living, these are all things that should make you contact your doctor right away.
It's really important to take care of yourself, not just your baby. Your baby is what matters most, I know, but they also need a happy, healthy mom.
Kason is now 3 years old. Caitlin says she's grateful she got the help she needed. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
They say the most common side effect of the drug is some tiredness, but it would be given once a day at night, and so the side effect for most people is very mild to moderate. Sometimes the things that make the holiday season sensational can also lead to sensory overload, especially for children on the spectrum. For those families, things like food and travel and gifts often come with significant challenges. But the experts at autisticmama.com say there's a lot parents can do to keep the holidays calm and bright. It starts with managing expectations. For example, if you're visiting family, show them a picture of who they're about to see.
We are going to Grandma's house, and it's not somewhere we typically go. Having a picture of Grandma's house or Grandma at her house, having a picture of what the chairs look like there.
She says to establish priorities and accept that your holiday may be a little different than others, but she says that's okay because it'll still be a special time for you and the family.
But we have cold days ahead, or cold mornings, I should say, but warmer afternoons, thankfully. I'll have one more check on your 7-day coming up.
And also ahead, a special reason to break out the peppermints and the lollipops as we celebrate them today. We'll explain coming up.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
It comes out of... Hey, what do you know? It's Hard Candy Day. Most hard candies are 100% sugar that's been boiled and placed into molds. No wonder the stuff's so good. But some were once used for medicinal purposes. Doctors used to prescribe hard candy made with lemon or peppermint to help with stomach problems. And, you know, even today we use lollipops or cough drops to help with sore throats. So many benefits, including the taste on this National Hard Candy Day. How are you going to celebrate, Emily?
Well, I was going to say, what I got from that is that it's healthy.
It can be. It's also sugar. 100% sugar. Don't forget that part.
That's a minor detail. Yeah, my favorite hard candy is Jolly Rancher. Easy. What about you, Richard?
I used to love Red Hots, you know, just the old-fashioned Red Hots.
No.
Come on.
No.
Yeah.
That's, okay. Anyways, I'm going to
There
move
are
on.
no wrong answers here, by the way.
There might be a wrong answer, and that could be it. But anyways, this afternoon we warmed up into those upper 40s, only upper 40s, I should say. Going to cool off significantly overnight tonight. I'm talking low 20s, and something that's kind of helping that is the low dew points. Higher wind speeds, or lower wind speeds, actually kind of helping that cooling effect. But low dew points definitely going to need chapstick, lotion for this time of year, because again, it is very dry out there. If you're prone to nosebleeds, this is the time of year that's not the best for you. But also give yourself a couple extra minutes in the morning to warm up your car, because it's going to be cold for the next several mornings. But good news is, by the afternoon, things are looking a lot warmer and more bearable for us. By the time we get into the weekend, we'll see highs in the low 60s. Christmas Day, though, Richard, tracking some rainfall, unfortunately, there, but if you have travels this weekend, shouldn't have any problems
Quick
with that.
reminder, I-20 back open to 2 lanes, but still slow going eastbound. We're going to keep an eye on this situation when First at 5 continues, actually live at 5 right after the break with Meredith and Will. But avoid I-20 eastbound. It's kind of slow right now.